You are currently driving a depreciating metal box that is quietly robbing you of millions of dollars while playing your favorite song. The new car smell you love so much is actually the scent of your wealth evaporating into thin air. In this video, we are going to tear down the darkest, most profitable illusion in modern consumer culture. We are going to expose exactly how the auto industry hijacked your brain, turned a basic mode of transportation into a deep identity crisis, and created a financial black hole specifically designed to trap you in the middle class forever. By the time this video ends, you will never look at a car dealership, a glossy television commercial, or your own driveway the same way again. You will finally understand the brutal mathematical truth about why keeping up with the people around you is keeping you dangerously close to bankruptcy, and I will give you the exact framework to escape this trap. My name is William, and I decode the psychological traps that the financial matrix uses to drain your bank account. If you want to wake up, break out of the cycle of living paycheck to paycheck, and master the psychology of money, gently press that like button and subscribe to the channel right now. Your future self will thank you. Let us talk about a guy named Marcus. Marcus is a very smart guy. He earns $85,000 a year. He works hard, he pays his taxes, and he feels like he is doing everything right. But at 3 o'clock in the morning, Marcus stares at his bedroom ceiling, gripped by a silent, crushing anxiety. He has practically zero savings. He feels completely stuck on a hamster wheel, running faster and faster just to stay in the exact same place. Why is Marcus broke? The answer is sitting right outside his window, parked in his driveway. It is a beautiful, sleek, black luxury sports utility vehicle. It has pristine leather seats, a massive panoramic sunroof, and a premium surround sound system that makes his morning commute feel incredibly cinematic. But to understand how this gorgeous piece of machinery is systematically destroying his life, we have to rewind to the day he bought it. Marcus walked into the dealership with an older sedan that was completely paid off. It had a few minor scratches and 80,000 miles on the odometer, but it ran perfectly fine. The engine was sound, the tires were good, and it cost him nothing but basic maintenance and gas. However, Marcus had a severe psychological problem. He was infected by a mental virus that the global marketing industry spends billions of dollars every single year to engineer. He felt like he deserved an upgrade. He saw his younger coworkers pulling into the office parking lot in shiny new rides. He scrolled through social media and saw influencers sitting behind the steering wheels of exotic cars. He felt an invisible heavy pressure, a persistent whisper in his ear that said his old car made him look unsuccessful, boring, and left behind. So he stepped onto the dealership lot. Instantly, a salesman with a perfectly tailored suit, expensive cologne, and a warm, predatory smile approached him. You must understand something fundamental right now. This salesman is not selling cars. He is selling a highly sophisticated financial trap. He is dangling a set of shiny keys over a deep, dark pit camouflaged with beautiful leaves. The trap is built on one simple, devastating question. When Marcus sat down at the desk, the salesman did not ask him how much he wanted to spend on the car. Instead, the salesman leaned in, smiled, and asked, "What do you want your monthly payment to be?" That single question is the atomic bomb of wealth destruction. It shifts the entire focus of the consumer away from the total terrifying cost of the machine and shrinks it down into a bite-sized, highly digestible number. The actual sticker price of the vehicle was $45,000. If Marcus stopped for a moment and thought about parting with $45,000 of his hard-earned life energy, his primal survival instincts would immediately kick in. He would feel a knot in his stomach. He would stand up and run for the door. But the salesman smiled gently and said he could get Marcus into this beautiful luxury vehicle for just $750 a month. Suddenly, Marcus did some quick mental math. $750. I make that much money in a few days of work. I can totally afford that. But affordability is a magnificent illusion manufactured by extending the timeline of the loan. The dealership used a classic, ruthless tactic to manipulate the mathematics. They stretched the loan out to 84 months. That is 7 long years. For the next 2,555 days of his life, Marcus is legally bound to hand over a massive chunk of his labor to a corporate bank, all for a machine that loses 10% of its value. The absolute second his tires roll off the dealership lot. Let us break down the brutal, unforgiving mathematics of this scam. When Marcus signed that towering stack of paperwork in the finance office, he did not just agree to pay $45,000. With an interest rate of 8% over those 84 months, he is actually going to pay over $58,000 for that vehicle. But the tragedy does not stop there. Vehicles are not investments. They are rapidly depreciating consumer goods. They rust, they break down, and they become obsolete. By the time Marcus makes his final payment 7 years from now, that magnificent luxury vehicle will be worth maybe $15,000. He spent $58,000 to acquire a $15,000 asset. That is a guaranteed locked-in net loss of $43,000. Now let us look at the opportunity cost, which is the ultimate silent killer of generational wealth. Opportunity cost is the money you lose by not investing your cash into assets that actually grow. What if Marcus had simply ignored his ego? What if he had kept his boring, reliable, paid-off sedan? What if he took that $750 monthly car payment and invested it into a low-cost standard and Poor's 500 index fund, earning a historical average return of 10% annually? Over those same 7 years, his investment account would have grown to over $89,000. But the magic of compounding interest gets even wilder. If he stopped investing after those 7 years, never contributed another single dime, and just let that $89,000 sit there compounding for another 30 years, it would explode into over $1.5 million. Listen to me very carefully right now. Marcus literally sacrificed $1.5 million of his future wealth. He sacrificed his future freedom, his ability to retire early, and his peace of mind, all so he could have a panoramic sunroof and impress complete strangers at red lights today. This is exactly why the car payment is a scam designed to keep you poor. It weaponizes your biological desire for social status against your financial future. The system is completely rigged against you in ways you do not even realize. Dealerships operate exactly like casinos. The house always wins. They use a system called the four-square method. It is a piece of paper divided into 4 boxes, representing the trade in value, the purchase price, the down payment, and the monthly payment. It is a brilliant psychological shell game. If you are smart enough to negotiate the overall price of the car down, they will smile, agree, and then quietly inflate your interest rate in the back room. If you refuse a high interest rate, they will drastically lowball the value of your trade-in. They move the numbers around with blinding speed, confusing your brain until you are so emotionally exhausted, thirsty, and desperate to leave with the new car that you will sign absolutely whatever they put in front of you. And then we have the absolute worst trap in the entire auto industry. The trap of negative equity. Human beings have terrible attention spans. People get incredibly bored with their cars after 3 or 4 years. The new car smell fades. The leather gets a little wrinkled. Suddenly they want a new toy. But there is a massive problem. They still owe $25,000 on a car that the market says is only worth $20,000. They are officially underwater. They owe more than the machine is worth. But when they go back to the dealership, the smiling salesman has a magical solution. He tells them to relax, not to worry at all, because they can just roll that negative equity into a brand new loan for a brand new car. This is financial suicide. People end up paying high interest on a car they do not even own anymore. They are stacking debt on top of debt, digging a pit so incredibly deep they can never climb out. I have personally analyzed the finances of people making $1,200 monthly payments on regular boring commuter cars because they rolled the ghosts of 3 dead vehicles into one massive bloated loan. They are literally paying for the past, the present, and borrowing from their future, all at the exact same time. And do not even get me started on leasing. Leasing is marketed as a savvy, wealthy person move because you get a new car every 3 years, and the payment is slightly lower. But let us translate what a lease actually is. A lease is you paying for the absolute steepest period of depreciation of a vehicle only to hand the keys back to the dealership so they can sell it for a profit to someone else. You own nothing. You build zero equity. You are just renting a lifestyle you cannot afford, permanently locking yourself into a monthly payment until the day you die. Leasing is the most expensive way to operate a vehicle, period. This absolute madness has become completely normalized in our society. If you do not have a car payment, people look at you like you are a freak. Society has brainwashed you to believe that a permanent, never-ending lease on your income is just a normal, unavoidable part of adulthood. Your parents had a car payment, your friends have a car payment, so you assume you must have one too. It is not normal. It is modern-day indentured servitude. You are literally trading the prime physical and mental earning years of your life to subsidize the extravagant profits of the auto industry. The massive banks love it. The foreign car manufacturers love it. Wall Street executives love it. They are getting filthy rich buying yachts and private real estate while you are sitting at the kitchen table stressing out about the price of groceries, all because you swallowed the toxic lie that your car is a direct reflection of your care. Human self-worth. It is time to aggressively, violently reject this false narrative. To break free from this matrix, you have to undergo a radical, painful mental shift. You must strip away the emotion and view a car strictly as a utility. It is a metal appliance. It is a tool designed to transport your physical body from point A to point B, safely and reliably. That is its only true purpose. It is not an extension of your ego. It is not a shiny billboard broadcasting your imaginary success to your neighbors. In fact, true wealth is completely silent. The guy driving the 10-year-old heavily dented Japanese economy car is very often the stealth millionaire with a 7-figure investment portfolio and a paid-off house. Meanwhile, the guy aggressively revving the engine of a brand new German luxury sedan in the lane next to him is drowning in credit card debt and is exactly one missed paycheck away from a total catastrophic financial collapse. So what is the action plan? How do you escape the trap and start building actual wealth? I am going to give you the exact framework. First, if you are currently drowning in a massive car payment right now, you need to step back and honestly assess the damage. If you have positive equity, or even if you are slightly underwater, it might be time to make a hard choice. Sell the car. Take the immediate hit and go buy a cheap, reliable, ugly used vehicle for cash. Yes, it will absolutely hurt your ego. Yes, your friends might make jokes and ask why you downgraded your lifestyle. Let them laugh. Let them mock you. You will be the one laughing a decade from now when your investments are generating passive income and you are financially bulletproof while they are still begging their boss for a raise just to cover their auto insurance. Second, if you absolutely must finance a car because you have no other option to get to work, you must adopt an ironclad, non-negotiable mathematical rule. The total purchase price of the vehicle should never ever exceed 10% of your gross annual income. If you make $60,000 a year, you have no business even looking at cars that cost more than $6,000. You buy exactly what you can afford, not a single penny more, regardless of what the bank says you are approved to borrow. Banks want you in debt. They are not your financial advisors. Third, when you buy a vehicle, you run it directly into the ground. You maintain it meticulously. You change the oil on time. You rotate the tires. You fix the small things before they become big things. And you drive that machine for 15 years. Every single month that you drive a completely paid off car is a month you can take that hypothetical $750 payment and redirect it straight into investments that will actually buy back your time. Wealth is not built in flashy showrooms. Wealth is built in the quiet, unglamorous shadows of delayed gratification. We live in a toxic consumer culture that begs you to consume until your soul is hollow. The system wants you stressed out. It wants you in debt. It desperately needs you to be entirely dependent on your next paycheck so you never have the free time or the mental energy to stop and question the rules of the game. The slick salesman, the glossy commercials, the shiny keys dangling over the camouflage trap, it is all an incredibly well-funded illusion designed to separate you from your money. The real luxury in life is not having heated leather seats or a roaring 8-cylinder engine. The absolute ultimate luxury in this world is freedom. It is the ability to wake up in the morning and do absolutely whatever you want, whenever you want, on your own terms, without owing a piece of your precious life to a giant bank. Do not let a depreciating metal box steal your freedom. My name is William. Thank you for choosing to step out of the illusion and taking the time to master your financial psychology with me today. If this video changed your perspective and woke you up to the reality of the system, hit the subscribe button right now to join our growing community of wealth builders. Give the video a like so the algorithm pushes this vital truth to millions of more people who desperately need to hear it before they sign their lives away at a dealership. And do not stop here. Your financial education is just beginning. Click the video on your screen right now to discover the next massive psychological trap that is secretly keeping you broke, and I will see you over there.